Synopsis of the Books of the Bible. 2 Corinthians. By JND Darby. New Testament. 2 Corinthians. Chapter 2. The guilty sinner and the effect of discipline, Satan's aim. Having again spoken of the care which manifested his affection for them, he expresses his conviction that that which had pained him had pained them also, and this was demonstrated by the way in which they had treated the transgressor. He exhorts them to receive again and comfort the poor guilty one, who was in danger of being entirely overwhelmed by the discipline that had been exercised towards him by the mass of the Christians, adding, that if the Christians forgave him his fault, he forgave it likewise. He would not that Satan should get any advantage through this case to bring in dissension between himself and the Corinthians, for Paul well knew what the enemy aimed at, the object with which he made use of this affair. Led by God in his way, the perfume of the gospel. This gives him occasion to show how much he had them always in his heart. Coming to Troas for the gospel, and a wide door being opened to him, nevertheless he could not remain there, because he had not found Titus, and he left Troas and continued his journey into Macedonia. It will be remembered that, instead of passing by the western shores of the archipelago, in order to visit Macedonia, taking Corinth on his way, and then returning by the same route, the apostle had sent Titus with his first letter, and had gone by way of Asia Minor, or the eastern coast of the sea, which led him to Troas, where Titus was to meet him. But not finding him at Troas, and being uneasy with regard to the Corinthians, he could not be satisfied with there being a work to be done at Troas, but journeyed on to meet Titus and repaired to Macedonia. There he found him, as we shall see presently. But this thought of having left Troas affected him, for, in fact, it is a serious thing, and painful to the heart, to miss an opportunity of preaching Christ, and the more so when people are disposed to receive him, or at least to hear of him. To have left Troas was indeed a proof of his affection for the Corinthians, and the apostle recalls the circumstance as a strong demonstration of that affection. He comforts himself for having missed this work of evangelization by the thought that after all God led him as in triumph, not caused him to triumph. The gospel which he carried with him, the testimony of Christ, was like the perfume caused by burning aromatic drugs in triumphal processions, a token of death to some of the captives, of life to others. And this perfume of the gospel was pure in his hands. The apostle was not like some who adulterated the wine they furnished, he labored in Christian integrity before God,